Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion. And today, this unpopular opinion was something I cooked up 17 days ago. And for context, this is being taped on May 31st, 2022. So here's what I said. I wrote, unpopular opinion. Spinner and Jay setting up Jimmy to be hurt by Rick had underlying tones as well. I said, we all know that Rick listened to Spinner and Jay's BS. Not once, but twice. People forgot about that. Twice. The first time was when, Rick got them to the tiebreaker, got them to the final round in the Wacky Rain thing, and in the bathroom during the commercial break. Well, of course, they set it up for a commercial break. Jimmy and Rick talk, and then Spinner and Jay pop in, and Jimmy leaves the bathroom. They talk to Rick, saying everything was cool and all that. You're staying at school. And then out of earshot, they just planned the paint and feathers prank. Make sure that Rick had no idea they were going to do it. And of course, the second time was when they convinced him that Jimmy was an inside man who got Rick's hopes up and then set up the prank. That was in the bathroom when Spinner was afraid that Jimmy was going to narc on him for telling Jimmy straight out about their plan to ruin Rick. Although he says Raj knows, not only because, Jimmy probably would have narked on him, but also because in the deleted scene, Raj actually caught Spinner mocking Rick. So anyway, Jay decides to tell Spinner that, Jimmy was inside man. I think it's a way to hurt Jimmy for switching sides in a sense. But anyway, then Rick shoots Jimmy and nearly gets Emma before Sean saves the day. Oh man, I spilled my gut before that. Anyway, however, what if there was more than meets the eye with this scene? Let me tell you, Jimmy was in the group to eliminate Rick. He was one of the guys to dump Rick into the dumpster, forcing Rick to retaliate with spray paint. And he did become close to Rick after what Rick says about Toby being hit hard now that it's known that Toby's close to Rick. I feel that Jay, Spinner, and even Alex were upset with that Jimmy not only isn't going to bully Rick anymore, but he switched sides to protect him. I feel that even though it seemed that the boys were trying to get Rick so mad that he breaks up with Jimmy as a friend, there's another raison d'etre. Or modus operandi, I should have said. They probably felt that they would get Jimmy back on their side to destroy Rick, thus making it easier to dump Rick off, but that failed miserably. They had no clue Rick had a gun. What do you guys think? Have at it. So I kind of alluded to this, I believe, in an early Degrassi Unpopular Opinion, the 10th one, I think. But basically, what I feel about this is that, Spinner and Jay knew what they were doing when they were setting up Jimmy to be hurt by Rick. Like, they were hoping that Rick and Jimmy stopped being friends, and basically Rick would not be around Jimmy, and Jimmy would be back on their side to torment Rick and push him out of Degrassi, even though that never worked. So, in fact, Spinner and Jay were upset. I mean, you could tell that when there's a scene that Jimmy actually tells Spinner and Jay and Alex stop being childish around Rick and all that. That they all looked angrily. And of course, Rick didn't help matters by doing the symbol at them, thus inciting Spinner, Jay, and Alex further. The fact of the matter is that Spinner and Jay were upset that Jimmy switched sides. I would be too. I would admit that. But the fact of the matter is that, it was underlying tones. Okay, I'm gonna get people's opinions. All right. Rachel Violetta said this. I think they were just trying to set Jimmy up to be the bad guy, partially to screw with Rick's mind, and partially because they were mad at Jimmy at the time. I don't think they thought it would end with Jimmy being shot, and I don't think they thought it through enough to concoct a real plan on the spot for getting Jimmy to take their side again and bullying Rick. I think they were pissed off at Jimmy, threw his name out there for Rick to hear, assuming it would get Jimmy in trouble, but not thinking it would end in Jimmy getting shot or becoming friends again either way. It was some kind of revenge on Jimmy that went further than they expected and resulted in Spinner going through some fundamental character changes. Fucking right. That is what I think. That's kind of what I was getting at, Rachel. Perfect. Thank you very much. So yeah, so Rachel got it on the nose. She just said we're trying to make Jimmy to be the bad guy. And they were mad at Jimmy. I mean, yeah, exactly. And exactly, it's like they didn't think Jimmy would be shot. Yeah, like there were no signs Rick had a gun. I mean, Rick slowly was about to raise the gun at Paige in the cafeteria, but he never did. He never showed it because Paige calmed him down. So yeah, it makes sense. They wanted to throw Jimmy's out and getting Jimmy in trouble. That's exactly how I feel. She hit it right on the freaking nose. Someone said there was an interesting theory, and it's possible. I always wondered what they expected the outcome to be. They probably thought Rick wouldn't tell Raj and they would let Jimmy take the fall. Nah, well, how is Spinner going to get out? And then I said, the thing is, too, that in the other deleted scene, Radic tells Spinner to meet him at 3:30 for a talk. Obviously, that didn't happen because of the shooting, but still, yeah, Spinner would have blamed Jimmy and all that. And perfectly set up. So, yeah, that's how it goes. Like, I'm gonna say something that I don't have to make. Then I don't have to make another video on this. But yeah, the thing is about that comment, it gets me thinking. It's like, what if Raj actually had the 3:30 talk with Spinner? Now, of course, the shooting happened minutes later, and the school had to be put in lockdown, and then the students went home, and everyone had to go home. Well, they investigated the crime scene, had to talk to like Spitter, I mean, not Spitter, Snake and Radic and the teachers and all that. So, yeah, it's like, what can you do? It's like, and to me, it's like, Radic, why did he not remember to talk to Spitter after this? But there is a main reason. The main reason is because he had a school to try to calm down. The school was put on the 6 o'clock news at the start of the 6 o'clock news in a negative light. And Raj knew that his school was now being the butt of the jokes, if you will. And I don't blame him one bit. I mean, you do it for your own school. But of course, it comes off as being selfish and self-centered. And unfortunately, that's what it was. I mean, Raj could have taken a better step forward by just admitting his guilt to anybody. Maybe he did off screen, but like on screen, it just felt like he was unapologetic and all that. And that, Liberty and JT took him to task over the Dracula thing. I mean, I still say that Raj had a point about Dracula and, how long it is after Rick's death. But the fact of the matter is, the best thing Raj could have done was basically just say, keep rehearsing, but we have to delay it. Not cancel it, but delay it. Because I think if he delays it, then, it'll be back to a point that Degrassi gets better and all that. And then he doesn't have to feel embarrassed and ashamed of himself. Haskashi. But the fact of the matter is he let his emotions get to him. And, Radic's lack of empathy, if you will, looked terrible. I know this is piggybacking on the whole Spinner and Jay reason to hurt Jimmy, but it's got to be said that, Raj could have saved his butt with the 3:30 talk with Spinner. And who knows, Spinner would have been expelled. Raj could have saved his butt, maybe stay at Degrassi, or at least he goes out on a high note. Because he didn't go out on a high note. Well, rightfully so, but still, he could have at least saved some face if it wasn't for him. But yeah. But the main thing about it is Spinner and Jay's thing about Jimmy. Spinner was stupid for listening to Jay in the first place. And why Spinner connected with Jay more than Jimmy. That kind of ticked me off. Season 5, Spinner finally decides to snap at Jay and tells him off. And that's actually one of the catalysts why Jay actually becomes a better character. I think in a sense that he knew that he needed his best friend back. And with Alex not around, thanks to the gonorrhea attack. The fact of the matter is that Spinner was a good person, but he just had to listen to Jay without considering Jimmy's thoughts. Spinner got rightfully ostracized from the school for what he did. And it was a character development thing. Spinner should be thankful. Or, who is the guy who plays Spinner? Shane Kipple, that's it. Shane Kipple has to be pleased because, they gave Spinner a lot more character development after he hit the lowest of lows, and that's being expelled by Hatzalakos. So yeah, I feel like Spinner should never listen to Jay in the first place. But Spinner and Jay's reasoning and all that, people just don't see it, but I do. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching.